From the same studio that brought you the visual novel, Heart of the Woods, comes... Drumroll, please. Brrrn. And it's...
Please be happy.
Please be happy. A slice of life, yuri visual novel. Hello everyone, what's up? My name's Nivni, Vtuber Nivni Adair, and it's a pleasure to have all of you. I am going to be doing another visual novel today, and that is going to be Please Be Happy. I'm going to do it in sections rather than try to do it in one go. That way I have time for other things like, I don't know, Left 4 Dead 2, or maybe Dead Zone, or maybe something chill like Kokoro Kitchen, or Abyss, New Dawn. Sky's the limit. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we?
Nothing like a hard day's work.
Fog settled over the forest, far from the villages and towns. With it came silence. Birch trees shivered, pondering the weather, and dropped the leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man, and babbled like birds in the trees. In the middle of the forest was a grove, and in the middle of that grove was a log. It had been years since it had fallen. Once one of the proudest trees around, now in death, was home to an abundance of life. A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprout across one side, like a footpath for fairies. Nearby, an old toad flopped contentedly in the mud. And inside the deep, damp hollow of the tree, something slept. A traveler strode into the grove. Their steps were slow and tired, and they spied the log with relief, like greeting an old friend. Wherever in the day's journey, travelers sat to take a rest. Whoosh. Scrambling of the nails on rotten wood, a shadow bolted from inside the log to the tall nearby grass. Traveler watched the brush rustle as a faint patch of fur appeared within. Hello there, friend. I didn't mean to disturb you. They held their hand towards the grass, offering a piece of dried fish. At first, there was no reaction. And then, first, a snout appeared, quivering as it tested the air. Then followed the rest of the fox, sleek and tawny, as she took several steps forward. Her amber eyes were alight with mistrust, but also wild curiosity. The strangers sat unfazed, their offering still outstretched. They dared to meet the fox's eyes, and in that glance, felt something kindred. As the fox closed her jaws around the gift, a bond was made. Hi, Jordan. Good to see you. How are things on your end, you and Bear? Glad I could drop in. Hope you're in the mood for like a vision novel. Maybe we aren't so different, you and I. Traveler returned the next day, and the day after that. Each day, they brought some treat for their new friend. Each day, the fox's steps grew a little more trusting. One day, when the traveler arrived, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
Hello, my friend. Have you been waiting long?
I'm glad you're that, Jordan. The fox peered up at the traveler. Her amber eyes were warm and trusting. She accepted her gift of meat, gnawing at it, at the traveler's feet. Then and there, the traveler sat, imprinting to the mind the feeling of the wood beneath them, the clean air around them, and a tender bond of companionship. Hi, Jarvar. Good to see you.
Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Or do you come to see me too? This will be the last time, I'm afraid. Because I'll be going home tomorrow. Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet, it's some place I can't wait to return to. I wish I could bring you with me, little friend. I wish that you could see the world too. Your home is all around me though, isn't it? It's wherever the trees are, wherever the leaves fall. Little fox, perhaps it's you who's the more fortunate of the two of us.
All too soon, it was time for the traveler to go. As they bade goodbye to the forest and to the fox, they knew they would not return, but that they would carry the memories with them, always. The next day, the fox sat in the clearing, waiting patiently. Chapter 1 of Foxes and Fables.
We've now docked at Wellington Skyport. Thank you for flying with Kiwi Airlines, and we hope to see you again.
The intercom's announcement muffled in the closet where I'm hiding, just like the clatter of the seatbelts and the chattering of the passengers getting ready to disembark. I wiggled around patiently, sorry for crouching here for, I don't know even how long it's been. Hours, for sure. The last few minutes always feel like they take the longest. A parade of footsteps begins to pass by outside my door. It's time. I listen carefully, waiting for a gap in the crowd. When it comes, I stand up and push the door open in a single movement. I give a wink to a shocked-looking lady that I step out in front of. She doesn't have time to gasp before I'm out of her sight. Humans, they're always kind of slow. I nod at the smiling flight attendant as I pass her by, and then throw my hood to cover my face. It's been a while since I last flew, but it doesn't seem like things have changed much. It's always been hard to sneak on than to sneak off. I follow the crowd to the end of the walkway and step out onto the ground. After a long stretch, I'm stretching. I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air after being stowed away for so long. Wellington Skyport, New Zealand.
I made it!
My breathless voice joins the pleasant hum of the skyport. A few clouds drift lazily overhead, almost within arm's reach. sound of the waves rolling to the shore is like a lullaby. It makes me want to burrow into the sand and take a nap. But I can't. First, I need to get out of here. And there's one more challenge ahead. Up ahead, the snaking line of passengers split as people are funneled into a few security stations. While I'm too far to hear what the guards are saying, it looks like they're examining a little booklet for each traveler before letting them pass. Humans sure like processes and procedures. I definitely don't have a booklet like that. Glancing around, I hope to find another way. An open window will work, or even an unguarded exit. I'm pretty sneaky when I need to be. Unfortunately, it looks like the only way to leave is go through security. Without any option, I join one of the lines and prepare myself. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Lines move briskly as passengers are clearing one after the other. And I'm almost at the front of the queue before I know it. As a passenger in front of me approaches the booth, I listen closely.
Good afternoon. Passport, please.
Right here. It's good to be home.
I'm sure. Welcome back.
She stamps something in the man's booklet and hands it back to him. And he continues out of the skyport.
Next.
That's me. I don't know what they do with people without papers, but I don't want to find out. I'm sure it involves a lot of questions, being escorted around, and other unpleasant stuff. Casually approaching the gate, I put on my brightest, friendliest smile while keeping a slight distance. My breathing steady and tail calm. I'm sure I put on a convincing act.
Passport, please.
Of course.
I fumble around in my pockets, pretending to look for my passport. Instead, I grab the useless, clunky phone that I've been carrying around and let it clatter to the ground at the guard's feet. As expected, she bends down to retrieve it for me.
Oh, let me get that for you.
And I'm gonna run for it, bowling ahead and rushing past the security booths as quickly as I can.
Hey, you wait!
Yeah.
Stop!
By the time they realize what's happened, I already have a few seconds ahead start. My inhuman speed, combined with the natural chaos of the skyport, should also buy me a bit of time. Still, I got them off of my tail. Dashing through the skyport doors and out into the road outside, I don't have time to take it in the city. Without stopping for a breath, I run into a narrow streets while weaving between cars and shocked bystanders. Being seen by so many people like this is annoying, but I won't matter by tomorrow. When the thought out of my mind, I vault over the low wall into a nearby alley and land in a crouch. Out of sight, but only for a moment, I close my eyes and relax my muscles. All feelings disappear, except a slight warmth against my neck. My secret weapon. The unremarkable looking necklace is one of my only possessions, and by far most important. A certain one of the beads strung around my neck begins to heat up in response to my will, a soothing warmth flowing through my body. My hands and feet begin to morph first, fur chasing up my arms and legs as they distort and shorten. This sensation was so bizarre the first few times I tried. It's amazing how it's become second nature by now. Closing my eyes, and my body and head shift in turn. Face is always a little uncomfortable. My once human face changing and lengthening into a snout with some difficulty. The process complete after only a few seconds. I open my eyes, not as a human, but as a fox. I dart away without waiting, far quicker on 4 legs than I ever could be on 2. Obstacles like the stack of garbage cans ahead will be a pain to get past as a human, but instead I'm able to flip between the gaps without slowing down.
That's her! I know it!
Sounds like the security guard hasn't given up on me yet. I pick up the pace, running as fast as my paws take me. Her breathing heavy gets farther and farther away, and just a minute or two, I know I'm safe. I don't know where I am, but it's not like I knew where I was when I started running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 tails. I almost feel bad for the lady who was chasing me. She never stood a chance. Even in the crowded city streets, there's no way anyone or anything could outrun me. The wind just wishes it could keep up with me. Comfortable that the danger's past, I slip into another alley. Once I'm sure that I'm alone, I close my eyes and concentrate on the form I want to take once more. That familiar flowing warmth runs through me again, my body stretching and deforming at my command. A few seconds later, and I open my eyes to glance at my hands.
Better luck next time.
Brushing the dust off myself, I nonchalantly stroll out of the alley and back into the street. The odd person walks by on this errand or another, not paying any attention to me. Just the way I like it.
Left, right, past turn, left.
Mapping out the path in my head, I look for a way to the main roads. It'll be easier to get my bearings there. I pick turns at random without any real destination in mind. When I decide to make the journey to Wellington, it was pretty impulsive. I overheard another pair of travelers talking about it and how beautiful the city is. With a moment now to taking the scenery, I could see they weren't wrong. Streets around here seem like a mix of homes and businesses. Everything is very colorful. Even the brick walls are covered in pictures and paint. In the distance, I can see green hills that are lined with houses, as well as green hills that are completely empty. There are a lot of hills. Now I look around some. From just a few streets, the sound of pedestrians and busy intersections floats my way. I head in this direction, taking shortcuts through yards and driveways when it's convenient. In one lawn, a big dog growls at me as I walk past. But when I transform and growl right back, he tucks his tail and runs away. Dogs and I always had an understanding. After squeezing into one of the last narrow side street, I finally emerge onto what looks like the main road. There's no cars here. Tons of people on foot. There are brightly colored signs and decorations on most of the buildings. In the middle of the street, there are fountains and benches and trees and all kinds of stuff. The best part is, it's like the variety of stores. When I stroll past a few of the windows and peek in, I can already tell that I'm able to do most of my shopping around here. There are stores with food, clothes, just about everything else. I don't have any money on me, but that isn't exactly a problem. What is the problem that it's too crowded? Dodging a couple of security guards is one thing. Trying to escape down a busy street with lost people is a bit too much even for me. I'll just have to remember where this place is and make another visit later, after all the shops are closed. Then, a man in a bright coat hurries past me, talking loudly on his phone in a language I don't recognize. He's so distracted that he doesn't even notice when his wallet falls out of his pocket and onto the sidewalk. I notice. Of course. Seeing an opportunity, I zip over and snatch it up. Prying open the black leather pockets, I find...
Score.
a couple of bills what I fear is a local currency. I slide the money out into my pocket of my jacket. By now, the man is so far ahead that it's almost out of sight. I have to hurry to catch up to him, give him back his wallet, and he barely even says thank you.
I should have just kept the whole thing.
Nah, Miho. You have a heart. It's only fair I get a little something for myself. Since it's not like he would have gotten it back without me. I head back to my bench and inspect my prize. A blue bill and a brown one. These feel sturdy. Nothing like the paper I expected.
1, 0, 10, and 5. So 15.
I'm not familiar with this currency, but if I were her, I'd do the same thing. 10 and 5 must make 15. 15 isn't much. I definitely should have kept the whole wallet. Oh well, at least it should be enough to buy myself something to drink. My thirst is starting to get the better of me, as I've had anything since I snuck onto the airstrip. Follow my nose. I walk down the busy street until I find one of the many cafes lining the path. The sign hanging above its front door has a picture of a bell on it. A charming bell rings out from above the door as I enter. I can't help but savor the wave of refreshing, cool air washing over me, which feels even better after so much running.
Hiya! Welcome to the Bell House.
The barista behind the car is the only person in the store right now. As I nod in greeting, she leans forward with a cup in one hand and a pen in the other.
What can I get you? We're having a special on affogatos if you want to try one.
What the heck is an avocado?
Usually, they're like $7, but today, they're only 5.
Huh, I can afford it.
I'd like a...
Miho. Of course, just like me. I'm not sure what an avocado is. Isn't that a vegetable? Not wanting to commit to the strange sounding drink, I look at the menu instead. Unfortunately, it's full of handwritten, spindly letters. I can't read a single word. No helpful pictures. Safe option it is.
I'll just have a vanilla latte. Ugh, boring. But okay. Name?
Hey, what if she's like allergic to something? Respect her taste.
Miho.
It's my first time testing out how the name sounds. And I decide, I like it. I decided on the airship that was in the Iris here in Wellington. I've used so many names throughout my life that I can't remember most of them. Each new city that I visit, I come up with something new. Foxes don't have any use for names, so nobody ever gave me one. She scribbled something onto the cup with a black marker. If that's how this name looks, then I'm more pleased with it.
$4.50, please.
I hand her the brown bill, and she gives me back a beat coin with a picture of a boat on it.
All right. I'll have this ready for you in no time.
She sure seems enthusiastic. I nod as she spins around and starts working. When I get about somewhere to sit, I decide on a seat by the window with the sun pouring in. Near the entrance of the cafe, there's a wire rack with a stack of maps and tourist pamphlets. So, I grab one of the mats before taking my seat. This cafe is big and bright. Plants everywhere. They're on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling. Most of them are real and vibrant, always being well cared for. Even the lights that hang down from the ceiling have glass ornaments with little shrubs in them. Seems like I made a good choice coming here. Any place with a bit of nature in is more comfortable to me than most places without it.
I guess I should find a place to stay.
Looking down to the map I took, I traced the path I made from the port to this cafe. It's useful, but it doesn't tell me anything helpful about the houses in particular. I'll need to find a higher vantage point. I move my finger along the hills I noticed from outside, on a little brown patch of grass with a little mountain icon. That should work for me for now.
Miho!
My ears perk up right as the birds arise and please my drink in front of me.
Thanks!
I reach over and take the warm cup in my hand, but the barista doesn't let it go.
You ready for the rain tomorrow? Huh? It's gonna rain tomorrow.
I glance behind me out the window. It's as sunny and blue a day as I've ever seen.
How do you know that? There aren't any clouds out there. I'm just good with the weather. Anyway, if you forget, then you'll be sorry.
She finally lets go of my drink and heads back behind the counter. People are weird. Does the barista pull down everyone? Standing on the doorstep, I have my first sip.
Oh, this is really good.
It's pretty plain, but well made. The coffee isn't too bitter, which is perfect for me. With a moment to myself, my thoughts turn inward as I sip the warm drink. My first trial was in search of someone, but despite my whole life being spent trying, I haven't made any progress in finding them. So I've taken to simply wandering, going wherever I wish at the time. Hi, Ghostwolf. Good to see you. Hello! We are playing as Miho. She's a fox who, she met this person long ago. This person treated her kindly, gave her, meals, and then one day, the traveler had to leave. And so, Miho, she ventured out into the world to search for this person. I've been itching for a change of scenery anyway, so I boarded. Snuck onto the first airship that I could. The best part about owning nothing, the clothes on my back, is that I pick up and leave wherever I feel like it. I take a moment to get my bearings and look around. I see a tired-looking person shuffling along the far footpath with a briefcase in their hand. They stop outside one of the buildings and take a deep breath and pat their face a couple times and then go inside. They must not be looking forward to whatever's going to happen there. Maybe they have to fight someone. The large glass windows of another store, Fawn is trying on a pair of shoes, but they don't see them fit her hooves. People waiting with her looked annoyed. I wonder if she fusses around with her footwear a lot. For a while, I simply let the day roll by and watch the various figures stroll by. People watching is fun, especially in such a busy city. Eventually, I go to sip my coffee, only to find nothing coming out of it. No reason to stick around. It's time to go. On the sunlit street, I look about to match what I can see with the map's directions. There's a tall green mountain in the distance ahead of me, which must be the one on the map. It'll be the perfect vantage point for the city. Ideally, I find an empty building I can crash in, but it's not necessary. A roof over my head would be nice, but I'm pleased to sleeping outside under the stars. Sometimes it's better than sleeping in a bed. Encouraged by the plan forming in my head, I set off on a long walk to the summit. Just in case anything happens, let me see if I can save it. There we go. Yeah, currently Miho is in New Zealand, and it seems like, animal people and humans, they coexist with one another. The path to the mountain turns out to be less simple than the map made it look out. First, the trail takes me along the waterfront, and then it turns upwards to a small forested area. Being among the trees and their tall shadows makes me feel at home. The path leaves the woods again. I'm a little disappointed. It leads up a paved road, so I stick the edge to avoid passing cars. Sometimes I take shortcuts through yards or up unmarked paths. There are quite nice looking homes right along the roadside. I make a mental note to go check them out when I'm, low on money or food. Not much far along, a concrete lookout offers another glimpse of the city below. A couple of airships are coming in to dock at the skyport, probably one of the other floating islands. There's still ways to go to the top of the mountain, But luckily, the walk has been so easy so far. I didn't even consider a hike. Eventually, I reached the final stretch of the road. I could see where it curves ahead to the summit, and I hurried to the end. A metal railing spreads out like a crown on top of the city. As I go to toss my empty cup away, a pair of chatting tourists pass me by.
How far is it from here?
Oh, about an hour from the base of Mount Victoria, so a bit further from here.
Mount Victoria.
I'm glad to know what this place is called. I said the name out loud to help commit it to memory. Standing at the edge, I'm treated to a wonderful view of Wellington. The city forms a crescent moon shape around the bay, which glares like a sapphire from up here. The sun is starting to set, and that makes the water even more shimmery. Even more airships can be seen coming and going. I think that I can even see the edge of the floating island we're on, miles out in the open sky. I surveyed the city, using the skyport as a reference point. Hi, Kathleen. Good to see you. Bah. From up here, felt like such a long chase really doesn't look far at all. If I strain my eyes, I think I can see the coffee shop from earlier. What was it the barista said it was called? The Bell House. It's kind of tough to make out the details. My hearing and sense of smell may be great. My eyes aren't that much better than humans. Then, I noticed something useful.
Look! Is that our house?
Probably. What can you see from here?
I see Dad's car!
Not too far away, there's a little kid who's using a pair of metal tubes attached to a post. His mom is helping him aim it at the city. It must be something that improves your vision. The moment the kid and his mom leave, I hurry over before someone else can get to them first. Miho, they're called binoculars. When I press my eyes to the same spot the child did, though all I can see is black. I try moving it around, but it doesn't change. Is this thing busted? Some text is printed on the side. I have no idea what it says. There's a small slot though, with a picture of a coin next to it. Oh, lucky for me, it's a coin that has a 50 on it. I put the coin that I received from the barista into the slot and spin the lever. The machine eats my coin, and then, when I put my eyes to it again...
Yes!
Everything looks so much closer now. Even the trees on the other side of the hill appear in crystal clear detail. I'm standing right next to them. I aim the viewing glasses at the city and look around, trying to find a good place to rest for the night. Houses are a no-go. Even if they look empty or abandoned, you can never let your guard down for a minute. Same with most shops. I don't have enough money for a hotel, and I won't risk sneaking into one of those either. As I'm studying the sights, trying to memorize as much as I can, there's a clicking sound. Once again, the view goes black. Stupid machine. Smack it a couple times and check again. But I still can't see anything.
sleeping outside tonight. Guess this place is as good as any.
I have picked that back down the trail a little bit, and we're off into the underbrush.
Not perfect, but it'll do.
I hope you're not gonna sleep on the side of the road. It's not exactly the wilderness, but just about everything around here seems city-fied to some extent. Usually when I make a den, I prefer to find a place far away from other people. A place where nobody will find me. I doubt I'll find anything perfect, but this is good enough.
It's fine. Can't afford to be picky.
That is Miho's true form, a nine-tailed fox. Once the trail I was on was outside, I transform again. My neck gets warm as my beats activate, and a few seconds later, I'm on all fours. As a fox, the sensations of nature are much stronger. Earth beneath my paws is cool and refreshing, and the breeze whips through my toes like a massage. I hurry down a hill covered in grass so tall that it reaches way over my head. I can smell fresh water and follow this into a small stream where I'm able to quench my thirst. It's just as satisfying as the drink I got at the cafe, but in a different way. Being able to slurp up the water is way more enjoyable than having to use a straw. Or worse, this is with those tiny holes. Hi then, man. Good to see you. This is Miho. This is one of the many names that she's adopted. Basically, long ago, she was met with a kind human, and she decided to venture off into the world to find that person. And so each time she goes to a new place, she decides on a name. She's now, I believe, in New Zealand, so she decided on the name Miho, and a necklace she wears that grants her the ability to apparently transform. I've gotta say, she's a lovely fox. For a little while, I followed my nose to some berries and some edible plants that'll do for a snack. Unfortunately, unlike the water, her is never as satisfying as eating human food. If I want a real meal tonight, I should pick up the pace before it gets too late. Still, I want to get this done now, while there's still daylight. I get close to the stream and search for a place where the ground is soft. For too long, I find a promising area, a small valley with hills on most sides and thick foliage on the others. I'm still close enough to civilization, to hear cars, other city noise, but the area I'm in doesn't seem like it gets visited very often. At the very least, it doesn't really smell like people. The spot that I saw on is a nice mound of earth near the edge of the woods, partially hidden by a tall tree with low-hanging leaves. Even if no one comes by, it makes me feel better knowing that I'll be out of sight. Hi, Azil. Hi, Goddess Epic Gamer. Glad you guys can make it. Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to Miho. She is a nine-tailed fox. She's on a little mission to find a human that treated her kindly long ago. And the name she goes by, like I said, is Miho, because she changes her name whenever she goes to a new place. And so, I start the day. My claws rip away the dirt as I burrow downwards, riding the tunnel just enough for my sleek frame to fit. First, I dig forward, then downwards, riding out the area that's big enough for my whole body to fit. This is something I've been doing my whole life, back when I was just a regular fox. I think that's why I don't mind it too much. Compared to sleeping inside somewhere, it just feels right to me. It takes a while, and by the time I finally finish, the first few stars start to peek out from the sky. I shake myself out of the jar that sticks to my coat and then transfer back into my human form.
Spread this here, a couple of branches here, some leaves there.
I walk around the valley a bit, checking from different angles.
Not bad for just an afternoon's work.
I am doing splendid, Guidance Epic Gamer. Thank you for asking. I hope you and the rest of you tropes are doing well too. Hopefully, I can make this visual novel an enjoyable one. I mean, even on its own, it is, but you know what I mean. If you weren't looking for it, I don't even notice anything out of place. All the digging has made me work up an appetite, and not the kind that be satisfied with a few berries.
Ugh, I'm so hungry. I haven't had a real meal since yesterday.
What's up, Guidance Epic Gamer? My stomach rumbles painfully. I've been so busy since arriving here in Wellington that I kind of forgot just how hungry I was. I'll grab some human food back in town. Casting one glance at my afternoon's work, I set off towards the city.
Work never ends. Time to get some food!
I'm a bit disappointed when I finally get back to the busy street from before. I was hoping that it would be emptier now, and that all the stores would be closed. Turns out I was half right. A lot of shops had gone dark for the evening, but there are just as many people walking around now as there were earlier. In fact, there ain't even more. The patio of restaurants has a bunch of tables full. A mermaid is sitting in the fountain I saw by earlier, chatting with a cyclops. Huh? A mermaid and a cyclops? Wow. This is a melting pot. Congratulations, Guidance Epic Gamer, for recovering your Epic Gamers account. Even the cafe I visited is crowded now, with the line almost out the door. After pacing up and down the room for a while, I sit down and try to figure out what to do next. I'm not too worried about what would happen if I caught stealing. I just escape, obviously. And if they somehow managed to catch me, it wouldn't be an issue for very long. See, there's something different about me that makes me extra good at being a thief. It's not just the skills I practiced over the years, like picking locks, sneaking around. No, it's a bit more special than that. Without fail, every single person I meet forgets about me by the next day. I don't know why, but I really care. Either it's magic, that's all I know. And useful magic. Everywhere I go, no matter how careless I am, all my problems are solved by the next day. That doesn't mean there's no danger. I've been caught in the act before, and beaten, or harassed. If I can manage to get away, I've lost a few prizes that I stole fair and square, because I had to get going in a hurry. But if someone sees me but isn't able to stop me, I know that I'll be home free. Sure, they might remember having stolen something, but they'll never know who did it. It almost makes things too easy. Right now, it would be smart to just come back even later. In the dead of night, if there are no people around, I'd be able to take my time browsing without having to worry about making a quick escape. Where's the fun of that, though? I walk casually up and down the street, glancing to the windows without being too obvious about it. Some stores still have customers inside, as they lock the doors and shut off the lights. Most of the restaurants are still open. They're only making me hungrier. Staying for a restaurant is a bit much even for me, though. I tried it before. Cluttered kitchen as well as the tables and chairs. Hard to get around. Plus, I learned the hard way. There are plenty of hot or sharp things for angry cooks to throw at you as you try to make your way out. Instead, packaged pre-made foods are my best friends. Things that I grab multiples of at once and stuff into my pockets. If I'm really lucky, I'll find a place with refrigerated sandwiches or salads. Or sometimes perfectly good hot food that gets thrown out. You wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that's available if you don't mind sifting through the trash a bit. It's not ideal. Of course, a hot meal is a hot meal. I know plenty of foxes eating much worse.
Target spotted.
It's perfect. A small convenience store. Snacks line up behind the front window. Even better, shops on our side are close too, so there are not that many people in that area.
Locked, huh? Not surprising.
I head down a nearby alley and find the back door, which is probably where they bring in new products. Alleyway is too dark to begin with. My dark clothes help me hide even better. I glance around the alley, glad like always for excellent night vision. Nobody's watching. No one's even around. I put my hood over my ears and tuck my toe between my legs, leaning against a sturdy door. And when not looking closely, I'm sure I appear as nothing more than a shadow. I dig around in my pocket until I find my trusty lockpick, and then set to work on the door. It isn't a complicated lock at all, just a regular keyhole. With a click, the latch springs open just a few short moments later.
Bingo. Huh?
I try to chug the door towards me, but there's a chain on the inside that keeps from opening from very wide. There's no way a human would fit through that gap, but it's really easy for a fox. First, I sing away for a bit, riding on the nearby street like a regular pedestrian. I wait to see if anyone shows up, just in case I trigger a silent security system. After about 10 minutes, I decide safe. I transfer under the cover of darkness in the alley and slip into the building before transferring back. The shop isn't very big, and the receiver area is just a small hallway with a few boxes of soda and candy bars on the floor. I grab a couple of my favorites and shove them into my pockets. When I creep into the main area, I make sure to stay low to the ground, trying to avoid being seen from the outside. I'm not exactly hidden, but as long as I don't stand up, I shouldn't attract anyone's attention. I move fast, cramming as much in my coat as as I can. Cookies, protein bars, popcorn, whatever you're taking. My coat started to feel pretty heavy. I grabbed a plastic bag from behind the car, tried to summon my loot into there. I also take a few bottles of water and sports drinks from the coolers. Just as I'm about to leave, I smell a few of those coveted plastic wrapped sandwiches I was thinking about earlier.
Jackpot!
Diabolical. I fill my bag with sandwiches until it's almost overflowing, and then head back out the way I came in. In total, I was in and out in under 5 minutes. I've got enough supplies to last me several days. When I step into the alley, I glance around in both directions, make sure no one saw me emerge from the store. I don't see anyone. My neck prickles as if someone's watching me. I sniff the air, but I don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Nothing that wasn't there before. Still... Huh? Suddenly, there's a flap of wings, and the bat flies past me from out of the shadows. Goes right over my head, and disappears from sight up the street.
Oh, that's it?
I let out the breath I've been holding and start making my way back towards the mountain, where I made my den. I let the bag swing from my arm as I walk, listening to a song I heard earlier. I'm not able to keep a smile off of my face.
All in all, not a bad first date.
Yeah, you made a pretty good haul.
I've got a nice nest, food to spare, and plenty of places to explore tomorrow.
There are plenty of days in my life where I had none of those things. I unwrap one of the sandwiches I grab and take a big bite.
Nothing beats the taste of hard work.
She's a fox. She needs to survive. I hope Wellington continues treat me well here, while I'm here.
So tired. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
I'll bet. I unpacked everything that I got from the store, as well as the treasures that I always carried with me. My lockpick, my wallet, a few pretty stones. The only thing I leave in my jacket is a small scroll.
Can't get that damaged or dirty.
I change back to my fox, and then dig another hole near the entrance to my den. This one is much simpler and shallower. I bury some of the snacks that I stole before covering them up with dirt. That's smart. I mean, besides the obvious, like hiding it from like other would-be thieves. But yeah, also because it's kind of like a refrigerator.
Not like anyone's gonna come by and swipe my things, but better safe than sorry. I stole this myself, after all. Don't want it being stolen from me.
Yeah, sometimes what goes around comes around. Stuff like my pen and my favorite rock go into my bar with me. This is why I like having them close by. Once I've got everything where it belongs, I climb into a hole myself, turning a few circles before settling down with my tail wrapped around me. From here, I have a perfect view of the stars. I look up at the clear night sky, then the mouth of the tunnel. I feel bad for all the people way down in the underworld.
Can they even see the stars from there?
I've never been to the underworld, so I have no idea. I can't imagine falling asleep without them. Comfortable and safe, I close my eyes. Quickly, flip off to dreamland. I wake up to trouble. Release a threat. I'm sure it's only morning as I peer out my burrow's entrance, but the skies are already dark and foreboding. My attention moves from the ominous spring clouds above to the trees outside my den. Branches are shaking in the strong breeze.
I can't believe that girl from the cafe was right.
I climb up the tunnel out into the open, sniffing the air. It just tells me what I already know. A storm is coming, and fast. But also, another scent plays on my nose. One so faint that I almost brush it off before taking another smell. Surely I'm wrong. There's no way that. I run my snout to the ground. I investigate the area, and then decide that I'm right. I changed my human form in the ground.
Someone's been here.
Yes, someone's definitely been here. But the scent isn't even humans. It's vaguely familiar. But at the same time, not like anything I recognize.
And it definitely wasn't here when I went to sleep.
They must have come here in the night. Stop right outside my den.
Were they watching me sleep?
Well, to be fair, you are an interesting specimen.
Oh crap!
Hell, you better check your stores of food. As a fox, I dive back into my hole to make sure everything's still there. My heart pounds in my chest, but nothing appears to be missing. I also checked the spot where I buried my stash from last night, but that hasn't been disturbed either. I breathe a sigh of relief. If any of my stuff had been stolen, I'd be so mad. But that still doesn't answer the question what they did want. That's even more concerning. I'm a pretty light sleeper. Usually the slightest sound or motion will wake me up. So if someone was able to sneak up on me, even I have to be impressed. Impressed and a little worried. I got a more pressing issue right now. Though, and I stare up at the sky in disappointment.
Ugh, I hate the rain.
Alright, that's already different, Miho. I love the rain. Yeah, that's not good for birds. I would have found a different place to make my nest and hide my supplies if I'd known this would happen. Instead, both burrows probably just piles of mud by the end of today.
I should have found a place with a roof after all.
I fill my pockets with most of my important possessions, and some of the food I grabbed last night. Everything else I wrap as tightly in the plastic bag as I can, and bury them in my den. Hopefully, I can find somewhere fast and move everything else over before it gets ruined. An abandoned house to be perfect. Some other place where I'll be able to hide. I'm just about to get going. A loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. I expect to be a bird. Instead, it's just another bat. This one's even bigger than the one I saw last night. Its wings are way longer and noisier. I can hear it squeaking, something as it flies past me. Hey, I wonder what kind of bat it is. The vampire bat? I'm a vampire finch. Yo, yo! Some people say bats and foxes are similar. I don't see it. I watch it fly around for a little, while before it takes off towards the city. Yeah, my money's on that bat's just like you, and that it's able to transform from human to like fox, or human to a bat.
Maybe it knows somewhere to stay. Guess I'll follow it for now.
Couple times it disappears between the trees, or just too far ahead, but I always manage to catch back up to it. Eventually, we're out of the woods and back into civilization, where a few car whizzes right past me. There's a sidewalk here, and other people walking around. Most of them look up at the sky nervously, though, and everyone seems to be in a hurry.
Guess I'm not the only one looking to get away from the rain.
I'm just about to get going. A loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. I expected to be a bird, but instead, it's not bad. More people seem to be going in the direction I was heading than anywhere else, so I stick to that. But now, my winged guide is almost out of my sight again. Just a little black speck in the sky, flying into the distance. Far up this road, there's a slope that leads to a big, fancy-looking building. It doesn't look like a shop or restaurant. At least not one I've ever seen. But there are so many people going in and out. It has to be open to the public. That's good enough for me. It'll give me something dry to spend some time, and maybe I can learn something useful. Plus, places like this usually have plenty of valuables inside. If I'm lucky, I maybe will find something to fund my next few days. After all, the bigger target looks like there knows anything missing. The sturdy oak door isn't as heavy as it looks. A firm push being enough to leave it open. Gingerly stepping inside and out of the rain, I'm greeted by books. Lots of books. Books on shelves, books on tables, books on the floor, books everywhere. Place even smells of musty old paper, and the dozen or so people inside are mostly leaving pages in the aisles. The odd signs about the building is striking, given how many are around. It doesn't look like a shop, so I assume this must be a library. I've heard of them, but never been to one. No point, since I can't read and all. But it's warm and cozy and very dry, so it'll do just fine. There's a desk near the entrance with a computer on it that I assume will be where I check in. It's unattended, which is good for me. I take a seat in the empty chair nearby, sit back just to observe for a bit. There are plenty of people, but it's not too busy. Lots of empty, unwatched spaces. Most folks seem to be here, alone, or in small groups that keep to themselves. There's not much conversation going on, and what there is, all whispered. Nobody gives me a second glance, which is a good sign. It means I'm probably not breaking any rules just by being here. Behind the desk, there's a hallway leading deeper into the building, and I peek around the corner to see what's back there. All I can see are some shut doors at the very back, a staircase. After glancing around to make sure no one's watching, I sneak down the hall and try a couple of doors. All of them are locked. I could probably pick them if I wanted to. No sense trying to do that now, though. Is there anything more valuable around here? Antique clock or a vase would be perfect. Sally, almost all books. Books and little trinkets that look pretty worthless. Not even worth the trouble of stealing. At least it's got a roof. I do spot a couple promising items, like a set of old coins, and memorize the locations. I wandered back to the main area where I came in. Outside, it hasn't even started raining yet. It's only a matter of time. The wind is loud and gusty, and even opening the door is not to make me shiver. If nothing else, I could probably wait out the rain here. But, my poor abandoned snack stuck at the den! What a waste. Can't do anything about it now, though. I should keep looking around. I move slowly through the area, narrowing around what seems to be the public area. I pretend to expect a few books, taking them off shelves, and flipping through the pages. I'm actually mapping out the place in my head. Doors, windows, and potential places to hide. Things like that. Most of the time, this kind of info is unnecessary. It's been at least a few decades since I had to make a dramatic escape from anywhere. At this point, playing escape route is just a habit. Overall, I like what I'm seeing. Even with the locked doors and off-limit hallways, there are a lot of nooks and crannies that would make a good hiding place, especially for a fox. From the thick dust that coats a lot of these areas, I can tell they don't get a whole lot of visitors. If I'm careful, I might be able to go a whole week or more without being noticed. As long as I get in and out of the building easily, that is, with huge windows that line the back wall, that seems easy enough too. I weave around a couple of shelves that are taller than I am, heading for the back corner. I peer around the corner last aisle, just to make sure I'm alone. But I'm not. At a small table by the window is a woman with a small book in her hand, resting against her fingers. She's perfectly still, but mouths the words on the page as she reads, like she's tasting them instead of just seeing them. Her expression has the distant look of someone way off in their own world, far away from this one. She looks so at peace that I think she must belong in that other world. She's beautiful and elegant in the same way as a queen, the light from the window shining on her like a display. I duck behind the bookshelf, pressing one hand to my racing heart. My other bumps against one of the books on the shelf, and it falls with a dusty thump. Cursing my clumsiness, I suddenly back away, just in case she decides to investigate. But she doesn't leave her chair.
I suppose it's nothing.
She turns and gazes out the open window. What? I don't know. A moment later, she returns to her book and leaves this world again. I stay hidden, my face still burning a little bit. I guess I think this would be the perfect place to spend some time. Suddenly, much louder boom, and one I caused a stunned rumbles outside. Few people around the library startle at the sound and look around. Sighing, the girl in the chair pulls the window beside her closed. The first drops of rain, falling not a minute later. I'll investigate the window's lair. Right now, I don't want to bother her. So, I'll head back to one of the plush chairs on the other side of the library and take a seat. I could be here for a while, and how long the rain lasts. So, I may as well get comfy. I find a few books that have more pictures than words. Grab one of the soft chairs to flip through them. The art is many of those ones, and I go through the stack pretty fast. Takes long enough for the rain to start, though. The longer I read, the louder the pounding of the rain and the howling of the wind became. Guess it's not letting up anytime soon. I can't complain, though. This library is pretty cozy by my usual standards. It's warm and safe. Nobody tells you to go away. I have snacks. More than once, I get up and walk around the library again, even though I've gotten most of them read by now. I take note of things like a child's stuffed toy that's lying on the floor in one section, or a thin blanket that's stuffed between a bookshelf and the wall. On my third or fourth trip around, I finally find something I've been looking for. In one of the far corners, totally opposite from where I saw the reading girl earlier, there's a single chair and a small table. On the wall nearby is a portrait. The painting itself is of a girl with light brown hair, but I barely pay attention to any of that. What I'm interested in is the frame. It's lovely. It looks like it may be made out of gold. It certainly shines like it. It's carved intricately into the shape of waves, flowing up and down. It's gotta be worth something. I pretend not to pay much attention to it as I make back to my table. There are too many other people around for me to be able to try to sneak out. It's too big to fit under my jacket without being obvious. That just means I'll have to come back some other time. Maybe once this place is closed. Hours pass by and the storm continues. I'm kinda disappointed about losing a whole day, especially so soon after arriving. But it's not like I'm in any sort of hurry. I pat one of my pockets, feeling the mirror, and reassuring weight of the paper scroll that's tucked away there. That scroll's the only thing close to a purpose that I have. It's not particularly urgent, or at least, I don't have any way to deal with it faster. I spent a long time reading. It's almost afternoon, and I go and check the windows again. The rough weather outside continues. This rate, I'll be sleeping in a puddle of mud tonight. Unless... A quick check shows that a lot of the library's patrons have left. It's not empty. It's not nearly as full as earlier. Guess someone decided it was worth bringing the rain. Looking as nonchalant as I can, I get up from my seat, pretend to browse again, slowly moving through the shelves. The reading girl is gone now, although she's not what I'm looking for. Instead, I picked up the drop blanket and toy I spotted earlier into one of the out-of-the-way hiding spots I picked out before. It's on the floor between a shelf and the wall, but has a bit of carpet to make it softer. Even better, it's between two corner shelves, meaning that it's practically out of sight if you're not looking for it. I wiggle my way between the furniture and lie down, using the toy as a pillow and dragging the blanket over me. I tossed and turned a few times before finally settling down.
Yep, not bad at all.
Even though I haven't done much today, always down to take a nap. I could pass a few hours while sleeping, wake me up once it's dark, and then grab that picture frame, and then be on my way. I'll have to rebuild my den once I get back, but that's a problem for future me. I yawn, staring up at the ceiling, till my eyes get heavy.
Maybe today won't be a total waste after all.
The soft sound of cloth rustling wakes me up from dreamless sleep. How did someone sneak up on me twice now? I don't know how long it's been. The sky outside has darkened significantly, and now stars twinkle outside the window. There's no time to react as the sound comes closer. I hear no footsteps, but suddenly a woman steps into view. Her clothes are pure white, making her stand like a ghost in the dark library. Her cape rustles again as she reaches towards one of the shelves. One of the shelves I've been hiding, to be precise. Gingerly, she moves 2 books to the side and slides another book into the space she created. She handles them like precious treasures that might break if she's too rough. I stay perfectly still, afraid to even breathe, in case she notices me. My heart beats wildly as she slowly and deliberately looks over the shelf, examining the tires before taking a book from the second lowest row. Through the gap she creates in the shelves, our eyes meet in the darkness. I tense up as she steps around the shelving between us to get a better look at me, preparing myself to lead away if the need arises. The carefully memorized layout of the library flashes in my mind as I practically plot the best way to flee. Even as I prepare my escape, I can see her checking everything about me. The stolen blanket, the makeshift pillow, my generally deceitful appearance. She opens her mouth, and I brace myself for the verbal attack that's sure to come.
Hello there. May I ask why you're sleeping on the floor?
Doesn't matter what I say. Distract her enough to get away.
I don't have anywhere else to sleep.
I thought so.
She leans down and offers me a hand. I look at it wearily. I don't take it. I slowly stand, letting the blanket fall to my feet. I try to slowly get in a position to run.
Well, I have an extra room on the second floor that you're welcome to borrow, if you'd prefer that. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to remain here, on the ground. I apologize for waking you.
With a smile, a highly calm woman steps away and busies herself organizing another row of books. She's probably expecting to let my guard down and take her offer. I'm just a stranger, someone who broke into her library. There's no reason for her to treat me kindly. My years of experience, there are plenty of those, tell me it's a trap.
Thanks, but no thanks. I'll just be going, actually. Sorry to bother you like this.
I hurry past her, shoulders tense. I expect her to grab me or try to stop me. She doesn't, though. The one time I glance back, she's watching me with a strange expression that I don't recognize. When I get outside and wait for the library, I breathe a sigh of relief.
Whew, that was close. I'm not falling for that one again.
The last time I let someone feel sorry for me and accept a place to stay, I woke up to them trying to empty my wallet. I might be a thief, but at least I do it honestly. I'm gonna try to trick someone like that. That wasn't the first time someone tried to fool me, take advantage of me either.
Still, it's a shame to lose such a nice hiding place. Maybe I'll give it a couple of days for that woman to forget about me, and then try again.
Yeah, it seems like Miho, she said that she has this thing where, like, if somebody, like, notices her, then maybe after a day or so, they seem to magically forget about her. But I get the feeling maybe she's still gonna be remembered by this person.
If she wasn't lying about there being an empty room on the second floor, then maybe I could sneak into there.
Wow, big brain logic there. Don't accept her offer to take that room, so instead, you're going to break in there to use that room that she offered you. That's silly. Tonight, though, I'm on my own, shivering. I wrap my coat and tail tightly around myself as I think about what to do next. The rain has stopped, although it's still cold and cloudy. My stomach grumbles, since I haven't eaten anything other than snacks all day.
Ugh.
Bah! I may as well get over with them and go check on my status on my den.
Well, it could be worse.
Well, who knows? Maybe your rations, like, fossilized or something. That's not as bad as expected, which is a pleasant surprise.
What's the little mine? It'll be just fine.
As long as it doesn't attract things like wasps, you should be good as gold. I swapped to my fox form to prod around. The entrance is keen and little. After I scoop that out, I find the rest of the tunnels and main room are relatively intact. Cold as hell, but intact. Seems the trees protected the den from a lot of the rain. It takes me a while to find the spot where I bury my stash, since the stick I used to mark the spot got washed away. And eventually I locate it, though, and start digging. Cold mud makes my paws dirty and sore. And little flecks cover my fur. After I eventually reach the soggy plastic bag, I shake myself clean before I open them as a human. Some water has seeped through, and I open the spoiled items before tossing them away. I'm not too picky, but I have plenty of snacks to choose from.
Eat up, birdies!
Yeah, eat up, birdies. A few of them swoop down to inspect the offering. I scarf down a quick meal of cookies and unwarmed soup, along with some cold water from the stream. At least the water is satisfying. Then, even though I just woke up from a nap not too long ago, I should back into my human form to crawl into my den and curl up. I'm sure it'll be a while before I fall asleep. But I don't feel like going back into town. I've had enough excitement for one day. Isn't it all that bad? Other foxes without magic powers have it way worse than I do. Although back when a fox was all I was, I really wouldn't have cared. To this day, I'm not sure what it is that makes me different. I used to be like them. No desire to go beyond the forest or anything. And then, one day, I became whatever I am now. All I had was my necklace, a small scroll that I can't read, and the memory of the person who had given to me. They were so kind to me, that stranger in the forest. They wished me well, even though I was just an ordinary fox. Somehow, that didn't seem to matter to them. I never even knew their name, just their face and their voice. But I know that I'll recognize them when I see them again. It's just a matter of finding them. Since then, I've been looking and surviving. Looking for them what keeps me going. It's enough to live for. If I wasn't, I don't know what else I'd be doing. I guess I'd just be surviving. But if that was the only thing, I think I'd rather have just stayed a fox. Stretch. I'm stretching. Standing outside my dead inhuman before I take stock of how things stand. The sun's thankfully out this morning, but everything remains damp. The ground, the muggy air out itself. The chill in the breeze is the worst, making me shiver every time it hits me. The Bell House was pleasant when I visited a couple of days ago. I decided to head down towards the main street and coffee there while working on my next moves. Coming to the door to the cafe, I pause and wipe my feet on the mat outside. The human fascination with surrounding themselves in concrete makes a little more sense as I work the mud off my feet. With that, I finally head inside, only to stop in my tracks as the door shut behind me. Standing behind the counter is a scene girl who I saw reading in the library, talking with a customer as she takes her order. That gentle aura about her is unmistakable. The person in front of me finishes the order, and I step up to the counter.
Good morning. Welcome to the Bell House. What can I make for you today? Oh, hi. I'll have...
A vanilla latte? No, that's boring.
What do you recommend? I want to try something new. I'm glad you asked. I was just thinking that you look like the sort of person who would enjoy one of our Fairy Kiss chillers.
Fairy Kiss chillers?
It's one of our signature drinks, with a vanilla gelato base and a mint chocolate chip swirl.
Damn! I want one of those. I was planning to get something warm, but that does sound pretty good.
Okay, give me one of those then. Perfect. And could I get your name, please? It's Miho.
Jordan says, that sounds yum. She scribbles something onto a cup and finishes with a big flourish.
I'll have that right out for you. Thanks.
I pay and then go take the same seat as before, next to one of the windows. It's pretty empty in here again, so I can sit wherever I want. Before the barista starts making my drink, I spy her writing something else down in a little notebook. She glances my way once or twice while she does, but I pretend not to notice. I wonder what it is. The barista the other day didn't write anything down. Anyway, I got more important things in my mind. I mull over the plan which formed as I walked here. I'm increasingly happy with it. Tonight, I already decided. I'm gonna sneak back into the library. Between that picture frame and some of the other trinkets I saw, I should be able to pilfer enough to fund my next few days in Wellington. Finding somewhere in the cellar should be the easy part. I've got a dozen excuses I can say about where the items came from. Dead grandma, spring cleaning, new renovations. Sometimes I try extra hard, pretend things honestly are really special to me, earn a bit more cash that way, as I just take whatever they give me. After watching other humans do it and trying it out myself, I got good at pawing items off. I find myself idly watching the barista make my drink. While I do, I practice a disarming smile. All her movements are quick and practiced, but she has that same faraway look in her eyes I noticed yesterday. She looks up and her eyes at me. I don't look away. She turns pink, verging away behind the machine, out of sight.
Huh. Weird girl.
I turn my head to look around the cafe, and a butterfly outside catches my attention, so I watch that instead. It flutters back and forth, landing on the flower and resting its wings.
Miho!
Ooh, my coffee's ready. I could get up and skip over to counter. Cup in hand, she starts to head over to give it to me. But then, several things happen at once. One of the little tassels in the pocket of her apron catches one of the drawers behind the counter, and she jerks it to a stop, eyes wide with surprise. And my drink comes out of her hand, lying on the counter, with a wet goop sound as ice cream splats against it, sending mint green rivers of coffee everywhere. A few seconds pass where we just look at each other. Neither of us quite sure what to do. And then she takes a deep breath.
I am so sorry. I'll make you a replacement right away. Just give me 1 second and I'll have that ready for you.
Her words fall faster than the beverage, making it hard to even understand what she's saying. Her face is bright red as she spins back around and grabs another empty cup. Then she stops, hands hovering awkwardly.
Wait, I should clean this up before it dries and starts to go bad.
She hurries back to the mess, wiping with some napkins. She mops as much as she can with one hand and leaves a soggy paper on the counter while she starts to remake my drink.
I'm really sorry. This is such an embarrassment.
even though she's talking to me or herself. I freeze up for a second, looking for an appropriate response to an apology. I'm not used to people apologizing to me.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not in a hurry.
Instead, I just sit back down at one of the tables and watch. She makes a drink twice as fast, and carries it very slowly to the counter, setting it down in a clean spot. This time, she takes a deep breath before speaking, like she's afraid she's gonna mess that up too.
All right, here's your drink. Again, I'm very sorry. It's your first time here, isn't it? I hope it doesn't leave a bad impression.
Second, actually. Yesterday was the first time. How'd you know?
I make an effort to remember as many of our customers as I can, as well as their favorite orders. I believe you can learn a lot about a person from how they drink their coffee.
Fascinating observation. Well, that's too bad for her because she won't remember me at all next time. I take a big sip of the drink she made for me. It's creamy and rich and sweet all at the same time.
Whoa, this is really good. It's kind of like a milkshake, but not. But it's not like coffee either.
Yes, exactly. I'm very glad that you like it. It's one of my favorite beverages that we serve. In fact, the recipe was my idea.
Really now?
Whoa! They should put you in charge of all the recipes.
She smiles again. Seems like she's gotten over the crisis of the spilled drink already.
Thank you. I'll make you another one of my favorites next time, if you'd like.
Totally!
At least I'll know what to order next time. Even though I'll have been forgotten. I've already been thinking of this place as my go-to coffee shop, especially since it's a convenient area. Tasty drinks and cute baristas. I have a reason to go anywhere else. A knocking sound from the employee area gets both our attention.
Hey, Aspen, can you start another batch of croissants?
Oh, sure. I'll be right there.
She calls back over her shoulder, looks back at me briefly.
Have a nice day, Miho.
You too!
With a wave, she gathers the trash from the cleanup and throws that away before disappearing into the back. So, her name is Aspen. That's a pretty name. I'll have to try and remember that. Getting up from my seat, I decide to head back outside for some fresh air. Sipping my very kiss chiller as I go, head out the door onto the increasingly busy main street. I already know my plans for tonight, but I still got some time to kill before then. What should I do? Decisions. Who's that over there? Mount Victoria. That's where we, had like the binoculars. Something like Oriental Bay. We should go to a place where we haven't been. It's not far from where I'm here to the beach, so I decided to head down there. I mean, I guess we've been here, but not extensively. Passing the city streets, I recognized some of this area from my first day here, when I was running away from that skyport guard.
Whew. Glad that guard chased me in this direction, or I'd have never found the Bell House.
And really, that's in the highlight of Wellington so far. When I get down to the beach, I take a moment to enjoy the salty sea air. Next level, it's a positive where the ocean ends, where the open sky begins. I can see the skyport from where I am, and a few older ships anchored in the harbor close by. While admiring the view, a worried-looking woman comes up and waits for my attention. So much for smooth sailing.
Hi, I'm looking for my son. He's about this tall and wearing a red sweater. His name's Tommy. Have you seen him?
Nope. I haven't seen anyone like that. I just got here.
Okay, thanks.
She walks away in a hurry, looking right and left as she goes to ask someone else.
Humans sure do have it rough.
Since they can't smell or even hear most things, so I'm wondering they'll get lost more often. I amble along the waterfront, watching all the people as I go. Like Cuba Street, there's a lot going on. Under a nearby bridge, a group of 3 mermaids are racing each other. Close to the bridge are a bunch of people fishing, a stressed-looking guy running back and forth between them. Next to a boarded market stall and some big crates, I notice something weird. There's a fable with a big flower underhead that spins like a propeller. They're using it to drift in a small circle above something near the crates. I have to check it out, of course. Nobody else pays any attention. I wander over and take a look. Fable stops spinning as I approach. It gives me a helpless look, but doesn't see anything. On the other side of the crates, out of sight from the path, there's a little boy sitting on the ground, with his back to one of the wooden boxes.
Are you Tommy?
The kid jumps up, totally surprised. Oops. Scrambles up and looks at me with wide eyes.
How'd you know?
Because I am psychic. I'm from the future. I'm your future sister.
Your mom's looking for you. She seemed pretty worried.
His expression goes from surprise to sullen real quick.
I don't care. I don't want to go with her.
What? Why?
Why not? Why are you over here instead?
Cause I'm hiding.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Alright, have at it. Happy trails. It's a pretty crummy hiding place. I mean, it's like open on 3 sides. I'll say that though. Instead, I look up the fable floating overhead. It almost looks as glum as Tommy.
Who's that?
That's Derby! You mean you can see him?
I can. Is that weird?
Mom and Dad can't see him. They think I'm just making him up. He doesn't talk, but he's real.
You know, that's very odd considering in a world where people like fox girls, cyclops, and freaking mermaids, they all exist in this, in this alternate New Zealand. You're telling me they listen to Tommy's story and they go, nope, our son is just make-believe. Jerry waits up from high.
He kinda gave away your hiding spot. I saw him from the road.
His eyes are twinkling. Because now he has someone else that believes in Derby.
Mom can't see him, and that's all that matters.
Why are you hiding from her?
'Cause
Tommy sits back down and scratches the dirt with a rock. Guess he doesn't want to talk about it. I'm always glad to enter a conversation.
Well, good luck.
I start to walk away, but I mean, he doesn't seem like he's in any danger, and I don't want to get blamed for him hiding in the first place.
hey, wait a minute.
I turn around. He's already standing up again.
Are you gonna go tell her where I am?
Before I could answer, his eyes get huge again.
Tommy, there you are.
I have to turn around again. This time, it's the woman from before. She's ready to flying past me over to Tommy.
Are you okay? What were you doing? Don't you ever run off like that again. Oh, I'm just glad you're safe, though.
Her voice goes up and down between relieved and angry. Not to mention, it sounds like she's exasperated. She has Tommy in a huge hug, but he's staring forward grumpily. Derby is flying in distress circles again. Finally, the lady turns to me.
You found him, right? Thank you so much. I was so worried.
No problem.
I didn't really do anything. I did find him, but so did she. There's just not much thinking about it.
Come on, Tommy, let's go home. We'll talk about this there.
Yeah, we didn't want to do anything in front of in public.
No, I'm not going. That's not home.
My ears flinch as he yells. He stands his foot on the ground to make his point.
Tommy, sweetie.
Home is where it's you, me, and Dad. Not that apartment.
That's still your home, too. But this, it's like your second home now.
Hi there, Bobby.
No, it isn't. Not without you, it's not. Do you and Dad really have to get
A Mercedes? A mansion? A swimming pool? A whole new set of collector's cars. Let me guess, it's gonna be a divorce. Tommy was already sniffling, can't keep from breaking down and crying, as he throws his arms around his mom and hugs her back.
I don't want you to go.
I get the impression that I should probably leave. Normally I'm happy to be nosy and listen in on things, but right now it seems kind of awkward. And neither of the humans notice me leave. Derby the Fabled sadly waves goodbye as I head off. I wonder what makes him stick around. I've never seen a Fable like him before. Not being able to be seen by certain people sure sounds useful though. I don't have to go far before the sounds of Tommy and his mom talking are drowned out by the noise of the waterfront. I easily fit into the crowd of people milling about. They had to live a life that no one notices. It's equivalent to being invisible. I'm pretty sure that I don't even have to have those kind of terrible conversations or panic about someone missing. No, being part of the crowd is just perfect for me. I stare at the concrete and admire the ocean till I've had my fill. Then, I start wandering again. I've had plenty time to kill, and also plenty of restless energy. I decide to go for a walk up Mount Victoria, just to give myself something to do. I take the long way up this time, instead of taking a bunch of shortcuts like usual. It winds through the neighborhoods and then back out again, only an occasional car passing by on the street. Compared to some of the cities I've been in lately, air here is a lot cleaner, and the smell of nature shines through. Can't compare to being out in the wild for real, of course, but it's nice to be not to be choking on exhaust fumes everywhere I go. Houses are weird though. Many of them sit up on tall legs, like giant bugs with windows for eyes. More people see me coming down the mountain than going up it. Lots of them zip past on bikes or skateboards. Others are jogging or just walking.
This path is longer than I thought.
About halfway up or so, there's a wooden bench just off the sidewalk. It's occupied by a man with dark hair and big sunglasses. Huh. Nice bucket hat. Though I don't know about the hair sticking out of the bucket hat. I mean, who in their right mind would want their hair sticking out of their hat? I mean, seriously, who? Who could be like that silly? It just mystifies me. As I'm about to pass by, he waves.
Well, hello, miss. Nice evening for a walk, eh?
Huh? Is he talking to me? He must be, because there's no one else nearby. Chat is usually not my thing, but for the moment, I appreciate the distraction.
It sure is. I'm glad the rain's gone.
Oh, for now, yeah. It's never gone for long, though, is it?
That's so. I'm new here. I didn't even think it would rain since it was so sunny the day before.
Ho ho ho! You've gotta watch out for that around here. Mother Nature's real fickle these days. One minute you're on the pier, enjoying the sunshine. Next minute, whoosh!
He makes a whoosh sound with his breath and a wave motion with his hand.
Storm clouds, as far as the eye can see. That's just welly for you, though. You live with the sunshine and the clouds. Where are you from, then? Guessing you're not a Kiwi?
Nah, I'm a fox, not a bird.
The man laughs, a deep belly laugh, like usual. I'm not sure what I said that was funny.
Not like that. Although those little guys are cute. A Kiwi is a word for us New Zealanders in general.
Huh. The more you learn. Kiwi.
So it's a bird, fruit, and people.
You've got it. All three are delightful. Anyway, welcome to Wellington. I hope you're enjoying your time here in our little city.
So far I am. I made my den here on the mountain. I've gotten coffee a few times, and I went to the library.
I can really leave out my plans for the next time I'm in the library.
Well, I can't say that's the usual tourist experience, but I'm happy to hear that it's working out for you. Staying long?
Probably. I decided to come live here, but I'm still getting to know the place. So, maybe I'll change my mind.
A true free spirit, eh? I felt the same way when I first got here, long time ago. Didn't think I'd settle down for life, but here I am now. Lived more years here than everywhere else in my life.
Huh, that's admirable.
It can't be that long. You don't look very old for a human.
No? Well, that's my ego boost for the day. You don't look very old for a fox either, but I imagine you've got a good head start on me.
That's true. I don't really keep track or think about it, though.
He laughs again.
Can't say I blame you there. I think 100 years, give or take a little on either side, is enough for me. And I'm only halfway there, so I've got plenty more to look forward to.
He stands up, but has to do it slowly.
And sometimes I'm reminded of how many I've got under my belt already. Thank you for the chat, miss. I better get back to the water now and make sure Young Min hasn't fallen into the ocean or anything.
Young Min?
It's been a real pleasure talking with you, though. I hope you'll give our fair town a shot.
Thanks. It was nice talking to you, too.
And I mean that, for once. He waves goodbye as he heads down some stone steps that keep heading upwards. I never really thought about my age compared to humans. Humans don't matter to my lifestyle. I wasn't lying when I said I don't know how old I am. It's never been important. Places, relationships, memories, they just tie people down. I want to be everywhere. When I reach the top of the mountain, I take a deep breath of the crisp air. Wind blows my hair in every direction. I can't keep it out of my face. The wind is wild and goes where it wants. It doesn't answer to anyone. That's how I live my life too. A free spirit. That's what the man called me. And I like the sound of it. I can see the smudges of a few people down by the beach and on the pier. It's one of the men I just met. There's no way to know. From up here, just tiny blips, impossible to tell apart from each other. Once I have my fill of the view, it's time to get on the way again. I turn my back on the people, start making my way down once more. Looks like the time has arrived. The moon is high in the sky. I decided it's time. This is the perfect kind of night for me. It's not much wind, meaning I'll be able to hear or smell anyone approaching. It's a little cloudy too, which gives me some cover from the moonlight. I make my way back up to the library, stopping as soon as I'm within sight of it. I find a shadowy place to hide and watch the front for a few minutes. Like I hoped, no one goes in or out. All the windows are dark too. I slowly creep up towards the entrance, ready to transform and flee if I have to. Nothing happens. No one tries to stop me. I peek into one of the windows. It's dark inside. I can't see anyone at all. Perfect. I move around to the back side of the building. I check those windows too. Same thing. It's dark and empty.
This is gonna be too easy.
Back at the front door, I pick the lock and slip inside. I sneak from room to room, visiting the items I memorized yesterday. They're not expensive or fancy enough to think of them as treasures. I end up leaving a lot of them alone, since I don't want to carry too much with me. The rest go into my coat pockets. Finally, I end up at the painting in the corner, the piece that started this whole plan. I have to set up a couple things down on the floor, because the painting needs both hands for me to lift it. It's heavier than it looks. Though it's not very big. That's probably a good sign for how much it'll be worth. I had to jiggle a couple times to get it off the hook, but I managed. Tucking the painting under one arm, I pick up the other goods from the floor. That should be enough for one night. Best to get in and out quick. I start to head back for the front door, where I came in. Before I get there, lights flood in the room. My heart starts to race as I immediately prepare to run. Quick glance over my shoulder shows a woman from last night standing at the top of the stairs. Her eyes are glowing blue with anger. She takes a step forward, not seeming to touch the stairs.
Leave that painting alone.
I gotta get out of here. Now! Throwing caution to the wind, I clutch my spoils tight and charge for the door, trying to make myself as small a target as possible. Painting's too big for me to transform and still hold onto it, so I gotta do this on two legs.
Stop, please!
I don't stop. Just when I arrive here, with the guards at the skyport, the thrill of being chased has taken over. It's exciting, it's scary at the same time, but either way, it spurs me to move faster. Using my shoulder, I crash out the front door into the night. I run as quick as I can, keeping an eye out for patches of slick mud or puddles of water. The path I take goes far past Mount Victoria and my den, and in a small residential area. I stash the painting under a parked car and take my fox form and crawl under a house, upsetting a mean green cat that's already hiding near. It makes a low growling sound, and I glare at it, desperately willing it to be silent, for it gives away my position. I growl back as best as I can, and that seems to scare it into shutting up. I'm not sure if I'm being followed or not, but I don't want to take any chances. After 10 minutes or so, I climb out and pick up my loot and see back towards my den. Now that the excitement is worn off, I just can't keep a smile off my face. There's nothing more satisfying than pulling off a heist, even if it's one as easy as this. Other thieves I've heard about must have had it rough, and they stick out of place for a long time, trying really hard not to get caught, and making sure not to be seen. I never done so much planning. I just do whatever feels right. My ability to transfer makes it pretty hard to catch me. Although I have to leave behind the stuff I was taking once or twice. And honestly, it would get boring if I never got caught and had to run. My gun lasts me all the way home and disappears completely. And I see who's waiting for me. The woman in white. She stands just out my den. Look like she doesn't care all about the cold or the mud. In fact, her perfect clothes don't seem to get dirty at all. Her back turned to me. She's staring up at the moon. But she faced me as I approach. She's the same calm presence when I first saw her. But I could see a mournful look in her eyes. She had gone back to brown instead of furious blue. My heart quickens almost suffocatingly as she watches me intently. I know how quickly calm can turn to anger. I should run, but I can't look away.
How did you find me here? Before I even got back?
A friend of mine told me you might be found here.
Her voice is soft and warm, unlike the way she shouted back at the library.
A friend.
But who? I wasn't followed. I'm sure of that much. The shock being found wearing off. The realization that I'll need to find new places to say sets in after all that work too.
I apologize for showing up uninvited. I'm here to ask that you please return that painting to me. You may keep the frame if you'd like, but the painting itself is very dear to me.
I look down the portrait. I've been carved for a while now, but I haven't given the picture itself much thought. It's a beautiful painting, and clearly very old. The girl shown it is wearing a long flowing dress, looking down, and I saw a small smile.
And also...
She breathes out slowly, and my eyes narrow. The sound people make when they're acting calm, but they're angry.
Should you want it, I have an extra room available in my library, with a soft bed and a warm meal. You may stay as long as you wish.
Huh?
After I just tried to rob her, she's offering a place to stay? Okay, now I know this must be a trap. There's no way. Although... it's the same thing she asked me last night, before I broke in. I'm sure she doesn't remember that.
Why?
Because I have more beds than I could possibly fill, and more food than I could eat. If there is someone who wants or needs them, is it not appropriate to share these with them?
Is it?
I'm not sure what answer she wants to hear. She looks at me again, the same expression as it was at the library. Well, her offer does sound kind of tempting.
I guess it's not like my place is as nice as yours.
Not anymore, at least. Not after it rained and hardened, made half of it mud. I looked down at the painting again. If I sold it, it's just gonna be so I could buy the same thing she's offering me. I still don't trust her. I watch people enough to know better than that. There must be something she wants. But I don't think she wants to hurt me. She knows I don't have anything worth stealing. If she did try to pull something, I could just run away. It's only one night. I can come back and try again. Or find someone else to take from. I look down to the barrels past where she's standing. It looks less like a den, and more like a pile of mud. The thought of sleeping there again practically makes the decision for me.
Fine, I'll take it.
She breathes out slowly again and smiles. Maybe that sound doesn't mean she's angry.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
I love how she brushes her hair behind her ear.
I should introduce myself properly. My name is Juliet. May I ask what yours is?
Miho.
I've had to introduce myself twice in a day now. There has to be a new record.
Well, Miho, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Let's return to the library. I can carry the painting if you'd like, or you may hold on to it until we get there.
I shrug.
Here, feel free.
She receives it very gently. I quickly fall in beside her as we begin to walk back. To my relief, doesn't try to make any conversation. Instead, she silently cradles the painting as we go. When we get back to the library, the lights are off and the door is still unlocked. After setting the painting down on the desk, Julia gestures towards the stairs.
It's on the second floor.
I follow her lead again until she stops on one of the closed door. She unlocks it and lets me in. The room is simple and cozy. A couple dressers, a table, and a bed. Over the bed, there's a boxy window with a wide sill, big enough to sit on. On the table, there's a cheese sandwich and a few apple slices, some sort of cake. There's also a pitcher of water.
I hope the food is to your liking. 2 rooms down the hall from here, you'll find a refrigerator, and you may help yourself to anything in there. My study is just past that. If you need anything, don't hesitate to come find me.
I don't know if it's too soon saying, but between that lady, the barista, Aspen, and then Juliet, I think I'm leaning a little more towards Juliet.
Is there anything more I can bring for you?
I shake my head, still in disbelief. What am I supposed to say in a situation like this? I just stole from her, and now I have both a bed and food in return. As if to answer my confusion, she gives me a calm smile. Doesn't help.
Then I'll leave you to it. We can speak again in the morning. Good night, Miho.
The door shuts behind her, and I expect to hear Julia lock it. When I try to knock after giving her a few moments, the door opens quietly into the dark hall. Juliet's nowhere but to be seen. I pull the door back shut behind me and inspect the room for any hidden threats. I also check the food, something to make sure there's no poison or anything. If there is, I can't smell it, so I dig in instead.
Whoa. This is really good.
There's 3 different kinds of cheese in the sandwich, which is 2 and more kinds that I didn't even knew existed. Bread is soft and buttery, and I take a bite of the apple. Juice rolls down my chin. The water I wash it down with tastes better than the water from the stream by my den. When I'm done eating, I climb into bed, still feeling overwhelmed. More specifically, not knowing how to feel. Part of me fears that I made some gigantic mistake, that I'll wake up in danger. If I ever wake up at all, trusting my instinct has kept me alive on multiple occasions and for hundreds of years. Enough that I've lost count of exactly how many. But something tells me I don't have anything to fear from the woman I can assume is my host and the owner in this place. So with that in mind, I pull the blankets up to my chin and adjust the luxurious pillows beneath my head. Who knows? Maybe the morning will bring trouble with it. But right now, just sleeping sounds alright. You know what, Chirps? I think this will end this for part 1. This will be an ongoing visual novel series. Yeah, for Please Be Happy. Please Be Happy, part 1. So yeah, I'll leave you on a cliffhanger to figure out why. Why is Julia being so kind to us, other than being like a Samaritan or something? Or what's the deal with her in that painting? I'm still gonna stream. I don't think any Left 4 Dead 2 or Dead Zone Rogue or Main Cook Kitchen. I'll have to decide, but I'll take a break. I don't know, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour. But yeah, I'll be back to stream tonight later on. But I'll see you Chirps later if you're interested. If not, take care. Stay safe, stay nitty. I'll see all of you again. I hope that you enjoyed this visual novel as much as I did. And I enjoyed your company. I appreciate your time. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye everyone. Love you. Bye.